Hello, this is Claudius Minimus. In this video, what I wanted to show you is things like exposed belts, exposed gears, exposed shafts. These things all have to be rendered. Also, you can see all these items going by. And when you have a long conveyor belt of a lot of things moving, especially if they're moving a lot of things quickly, that takes a hit. And it can affect your FPS, or your frames per second. It can also affect the ticks per second, which is something that can really definitely affect the server. So here are some things that you can do. You can actually cover these items up. All you need is an andesite casing or a brass casing, and sometimes a copper casing, which works with plumbing items. Take your andesite casing and you just right click on it. It doesn't get consumed. And so you don't have to worry about making an andesite casing or a brass casing for each item you want to cover. You just go up to it, right click on it, and you can see it covers them up. Those things are no longer exposed, and they're no longer, so they don't have to be rendered. And that makes it easier on a server. By themselves, they may not matter a whole lot, but together it does make a huge difference. This particular crushing setup is definitely more optimized, well, than this one was, because I pretty well have optimized it now. Everything that can be covered is covered. Another thing that's really handy are these stockpile switches. Now, the stockpile switches, you basically have two sliders. You use your wheel mouse to adjust these. You just adjust it where you want it. And it's 75% full. The redstone signal will trigger, and when it drops below, in this case 25%, then the signal will go off. So you can see in this particular case here, this redstone link is activated, and the reason it's activated is because this slider here was at 75%. Now the items are being used, so it's slowly being depleted. When it gets down to 25%, what'll happen is it'll start calling for more items. And so in this case here, this switch here shows gravel from a barrel. And if I go over here, there's gravel over a barrel. And so just to give you an example, if I take and right click on this, invert the signal, and you'll see that those went off and it's receiving gravel. Right now, it actually overfilled, and so things are going to go off. So let's go ahead and shut that off, and I'll come back and pick that up later. Yeah, and if you have a belt like this that doesn't have something at the end to stop it, then this stuff will just go off and just sit on the ground, and you'll lose all this stuff. It's also, you can end up with a lot of things on the ground. I had a base that I had to clean up, it was a few weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago, that had stuff everywhere, and this basically it lagged out the server, and I had to go and shut down a lot of machines. One of the things that you don't want to do, and actually in this case on this particular base, and it's really common, I've done it, and that is you use belts for transmitting power. So instead of using shafts, they use belts. Belts are cheap, but you ultimately want to put them inside a casing. So for example, there's a shaft right there, and so there isn't anything to render except for the andesite casing. There's no rotating item. Let me just show you one more thing here. This machine here, I will go ahead and invert the switch, and once I invert it, you'll see that, oh, the machine didn't shut off. It should have shut off. I probably inverted the wrong one. There, and now you can see with it inverted, the machine is shut off. And so I will go ahead and sign off for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.